It's that time of the year again. I come back out of hibernation to prove how much more football knowledge I have. And all of you guys, here are my 2022-23 Premier League predictions. Leave yours in the comments. Subscribe. Let's get on with it, shall we? Now, before we start this video, we have an FPL League. Check out the description below. I'll do a video about it as well, but get in ahead of the curve. Get down below, join my FPL League, prizes to be won, and let's see if you can beat me this year. Now, a video to my reactions of last season's predictions, which are unbelievably accurate. Definitely not Everton in the top 6. That will be out soon, but let's get this out of the way and get our 2023 predictions in before the season starts tomorrow, maybe tonight. I'm not sure when this video is going out. It might be going out on a Thursday. If a Thursday, I'm looking forward to the season. If it comes out on a Friday, you've probably already seen the first game of the season. Tell me how it went in the comments because I'm currently in Thursday. But anyway, let's start off with the bottom 3. You know how it goes. The table, top 20, the top scorer, top assist, the one to watch, and the player of the year. Now, because I'm in a bit of a rush and it is Thursday night, there unfortunately will be no graphics on this. So you're just going to have to remember what I'm saying and take it all in. And in bottom 3, relegation places. Bottom, I think everyone in the world has this team for relegation favourites. It's Bournemouth. If they win a game, it'll be a miracle. And it probably will be West Ham at home and away. I can see them getting like 9 points this season. And that'll be 2 wins and 3 draws, if that. I just think they might as well just go down now and just stop wasting all of our time. If I'm being honest, I don't hate Bournemouth. I just don't think they're any good at all. In 19th place, the team I kind of wanted to come up, but now I kind of want them to go down because of a certain player that may have joined them. And am I bitter? A little bit, maybe. Forest in 19th place. They have some good players. They could change with 16th and 17th. You'll see who that will be soon. I think these next 4 teams are kind of interchangeable ones. The first of which is obviously Forest. I think they will go down. I think they've got some really good players though. It'll be interesting. It's like a Royal Rumble at the bottom apart from Bournemouth of who can go down. And that third from bottom place, depending on how amazing Mitrovic is, or if he even plays football in the Prem this year. Last time they were up, I swear he hardly played and was just at a bench for no reason. I have gone for Fulham, third from bottom. They have a few decent players. They signed in Babu, so you know all the people play FIFA. Fantastic right back option. So you have to applaud that from them. They're thinking of the community and buying some decent Prem fodder. But Mitrovic, if he scores a lot of goals, like I say, he could change to 16th or 17th. But I think Fulham, they'll just go down. I just think Fulham will go down. I don't mind Fulham. If Fulham stayed up, I would be happier than some of the teams above them, if I'm being honest. But 17th place, I have gone for Southampton. They're just rubbish. I don't look at Southampton. Luckily, they've got Ward-Prowse still. Who have Southampton bought? I don't even know who they've finalised. Obviously, Brozier has left them. They were obviously... he was obviously on loan last season, hasn't returned. Who have they signed? Because obviously they kept not Carl Walker-Peters, they kept him as well. But they kept James Ward-Prowse. Who have they brought in? Joe Aribo from Rangers looked quite good in pre-season, scored a lovely goal. Apart from that, they've signed Lavia from Man City for 11 million. They're going for young players. They've signed a 20-year-old for... They signed Bazunu for 12 million. Why have I not seen half this stuff? They've signed a 20-year-old, a 19-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 25-year-old. Now, to me, it seems risky. They're relying on youngsters to become good. It could be a great tactic. If they stay up and they develop well, either profit or have a really good team. Southampton are known for developing youngsters. But I just think their team hasn't improved. I haven't watched them in pre-season. Pre-season is kind of irrelevant. But for me, I think Southampton, after looking at that transfers, could be 18th. Now, by the way, guys, if you are a fan of one of the teams that I'm slating, don't come into the comments and insult me saying, Sam, you don't know anything, you haven't noticed this. What about this player that was signed? I don't follow every single club religiously every day and know what transfer links or who exactly you've bought. I've left this as late as possible so I can see what transfers you have bought. Have I been watching every single Everton transfer? No, I haven't. Have I been watching Villa transfers? No, I haven't. This is my opinion. Am I a genius of football? Yes, but does that mean I'm going to be 100% correct? Probably not. There'll be a couple of places off maximum. But don't come into the comments and go, what about this guy? Because I don't really care, if I'm being honest with you. In 16th place, a team that I want to go down the most, but I don't think they will go down because they've signed some half-decent players which could become good. However, they also could become terrible, which is what I'm hoping for, is Leeds. I was hoping them to go down last season. I kind of hope for all teams but West Ham to go down, but they've actually got quite a few decent players and signed a lot of American players. I'm a big fan of MLS and American football, as in proper football, not American football, NFL. They've signed some decent players, but I do think 16th place for them. They're lacking that goal-scoring striker, I feel like. And until they get that, I think they can't really improve more than maybe 15th. And talking of lacking a goal-scoring striker, they sold Richarlison. 15th place for me is Everton. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin's out for 6 weeks or 3 months, someone said. He'll be a massive miss for them. I think he's a very good player, Calvert-Lewin. Now, they missed him towards the end of last season. They have had to sell before they can buy. They're linked to a few players. They are linked to Broja. If they got Broja and a few other players, they could climb the table up a bit higher. I think Lampard is kind of like a maximum 12th place manager because he's not very good. Obviously, Chelsea finished 4th with them, but I just don't think he's a very good manager. That's where they're sat at 15th for me. I don't think their manager's any good. Their transfers haven't been great. And for me, I just think they're going to be very average, and I think they could struggle this year. And if them and Leeds swapped with Fulham and Forest, I wouldn't really complain. I'd, at fact, be happier to see teams stay up that have just come up than teams that have been up for a while and deserve to get a bit of evil treatment. Now, in 14th place, talking to teams that have stayed up for a while, is Aston Villa. I'm going through the transfers as we speak, guys. Don't moan that I'm Googling and typing. I do know who they've signed a little bit. They obviously sold that youngster to Chelsea for 20 mil the other day. Haven't reinvested that yet. We'll see where that money goes. Could it change 14th place? I don't really think so. Obviously, they've signed Coutinho for 18 mil. Diego Carlos is a very, very nice signing. I will say that. Apart from that, no one too absolutely amazing. Kamara is a nice free transfer. I will say that. But their team, for me, it says 14th place. I don't know how good Gerrard is. If they get top half, which they could possibly do, I feel like 14th to 10th on my table is very interchangeable. I think like with 19th to 16th, there's a middle period between 16th and about 7th that could finish anywhere. Like the middle 10 is just a pit of £20 million transfers, ex-player managers, and just chaos in terms of no one knows what's going to happen. Villa have kind of been randomised into 14th place. We'll see how Gerrard does. And I think they might do okay. They'll get a few big results, but I don't think they'll move mountains this season. Maybe if they spend more money next season, they might. But 13th place for me is, of course, Brentford. Only one reason why I've put them there. Now, you guys are thinking it's far too high. But if there's one man that believes Ivan Toney is the best player in world football, it is me. I actually think Ivan Toney is a phenomenal footballer. I get a stick from it from my mates all the time. I don't know why. I actually think him and Lewis Potter from Hull are going to tear up the Premier League. Not a tear up. He'll get a decent amount of goals, Ivan Toney. I think he'll carry him to 13th place. They've got Aaron Hickey as well. They've actually made some really smart signings. Brentford are known for this. Is it Moneyball? Is it called Moneyball? It's called something. Their tactical approach. Their transfer approach is actually very, very good. They had Ericsson last year, of course, on loan. He was left wondering how they'll do without him. But I think 13th place for Brentford. I kind of hope higher because I actually really like Brentford. I like Ivan Toney a lot. If West Ham, who obviously I support, could have signed a striker outside Skamaka, I would have said Ivan Toney, and that's a genuine answer. I think he is brilliant. And talking of mid-table teams that can go anywhere in the table, I've got next Crystal Palace in 12th place. We've got one more position after this for our bottom half. Who do you think will come 11th? That is the question. I want to know your predictions, by the way, guys. Comments below. Let me know what your predictions are. But in the 12th place, I've got Crystal Palace. They've signed a couple of decent players. I think Vieira has been quite smart of his business. And I think Vieira surprised everyone. If I remember last year, did I put Vieira first to be sacked? Or I thought like Palace might go down or something. I had Palace as rubbish. They actually surprised me, which is why I think they could surprise me again and come 12th place. Obviously, the window's not shut. A lot can change in the next month. Say Everton spend 150 mil, they may not come 15th. Say Palace buy nobody, or buy somebody good that could break into the top half. I don't know, but I think a top half finish is what sort of Palace, Brentford, Newcastle, Villa are aiming for, and they all can't fight for those 8th and 9th and 10th places. Now in 11th place, just missing out on top 10, is who I've just mentioned, It is Newcastle. Now, going back on their transfers, they haven't been able to spend millions upon millions upon millions like people suspected they would. Now, that's because of FPL. I think they're slowly building up, and next year, I think you'll see a massive increase in transfer budget. Obviously, signed Botman. They signed Matt Targett, it says here, and of course, Nick Pope. I think Nick Pope's a very good goalkeeper. Sven Botman was great for Lille in Ligue 1, and Matt Targett was decent for Aston Villa. Already on top of the players they signed last year, and I doubt their business is done yet. I think them and 10th might change around considering how this window does. And I also think Eddie Howe isn't the best manager, if I'm being honest. I think if Newcastle want to get 8th and above, I don't think Eddie Howe is the manager for that. But I think they brought in Eddie Howe to take them from relegation candidates to mid-table to then get another manager that can take them into top 8 with a lot of money. That's what I think Eddie Howe's for. And if he does that, he's done a fantastic job for them. Now, can I think they break into top 10? Into the top 10 we go, and Leicester are my 10th place team. Now, obviously, James Maddison's future is up in the air at the moment. A few bids from different clubs, according to the papers, of course. Now, who else have they signed this window? They've signed nobody, really. They've signed absolutely nobody. They have to sell before they can buy, I heard. So it may affect if they don't sell players, of course, and don't buy anyone. They could finish lower than 10th in my eyes. But I've stuck them at 10th at the assumption that they sell James Maddison, get some money in. Brendan Rodgers has a good year. Of course, Cassius Michael left, but Danny Ward is now the number one according to Brendan Rodgers. Don't know if it'll be very good, but can they get top 10? I think it'll be a great season for them if they don't spend much money. They are a little bit in debt, I assume, which is why they had to sell before they buy. But 10th place for me is Leicester City. Like I said, guys, keep your predictions in the comments below. I want to see where you place Leicester and other teams. 9th place for me is Wolves. It's a very generic answer. I think Wolves is a very solid mid-table team. Not too thrilling, not going to go down. Wolves are Wolves, and I think they need another striker. I think they need a top striker to maybe push into that top 8 like they were a few seasons ago. That could be the answer for them. From an outside perspective, of course, I'm not a Wolves fan, nor do I follow Wolverhampton Wanderers. In 8th place for me, kind of a team that I like behind Brentford is Brighton. Now, Brighton haven't signed that many players. I think they've signed 2 or 3 players this window. So they haven't actually paid loads of money to get new players in. But I actually think Graham Potter's a decent manager. I think he's a really good manager. Obviously, Cucurella could leave. Where that leaves them, if they leave, of course, £50 million in the bank for Brighton to buy some players. Maybe they get a striker that can finish the XG that they get every year and never cash in. They might actually cash it in with a striker. You never know. But I think Brighton, I've gone for top 8. Now, looking back, I think it's a risky one, a risky call. But I think Brighton could actually be quite decent this season. This will be my Everton from last year. Brighton will finish like 14th. And I'll be hounded in my Twitch chat saying, like I said at the start of the video, guys, 1 or 2 are going to be wrong. This could be the one that's wrong. The one that I know isn't going to be wrong. And if it is wrong, it's for a good reason. They finish higher than what I've put them. 7th place, I've put, of course, West Ham United. I think we'll have a very good season. Obviously, more transfers to come. Now, who have we brought in? I can tell you that. But just to make sure I don't miss anybody, let's go on to the old transfer market here. Obviously, Scamacca. I used to call him Scamacca on my Sassuolo save. I've learned that he's now called Scamacca. He's changed his name since the last User on FM. I think he could be a very good striker for us, especially with the crosses we're going to whip in. Hopefully, Cornet joins us. There's rumours of Kostic possibly joining us, but I think we'll go for Cornet from relegated Burnley instead. Onana, centre midfielder, looks like he's going to Everton at the moment, so we're looking to bring in a centre mid. We have, of course, brought in Flynn Downs from the Championship, who's a centre mid. Aguerd is out for a few months. Apparently, he's our new signing. Looked great in pre-season. Areola is obviously our permanent goalkeeper as well. Whether he gets number 1 or not, I don't know. But I think with Moyes, the squad we have, and are still to buy players with a month left of the window, we have got a tough start versus Man City. Also, guys, in the comments, let me know your Premier League Week 1 predictions for the fixtures. But I think West Ham, over the course of the season, we've got Declan Rice, of course, as well. Kurt Zuma, Jarrod Bowen. We've got a brilliant team. Just have to pad it out with transfers. I think 7th place or above for us. I really think it could be a good year. Although, I'll take 17th and a Conference League win or a decent cup win. I'll take a trophy and almost relegation. I just want silverware or European football again. I think we could do well in the Conference League. We'll do another video on our European predictions at some stage soon. Maybe when the group stages are announced, we can predict that as well. But West Ham 7th for me. I think a lot more transfers to come in. We've made some very good purchases, some young purchases as well. I'm interested to see how Skamaka does. I think he could be a surprise package. Do I put him as a one to watch though later in the video? You'll have to tune in and wait to see. But 6th place, I have gone for Man United. I think United have always got to be put in the top 6 bracket because they could just end up buying loads of people to the end of the window. And Ten Hag could be good. I don't know if he's going to be good. I just know they probably won't as be good as the 5 above them. I just think Man United they're just Man United. They just sign players. They hope they all become good. It falls apart. Someone else comes in, steadies the ship a little bit. They finish top 6. The world's a better place for it. United are top 6 for me. In 5th place, now 5th and 4th for me was a very, very, very hard choice. And I think, so currently I've got Arsenal 5th and Chelsea 4th. Now, I'm swaying towards Arsenal 4th. I think Chelsea lack a great defence, lack an out-and-out goal scorer. If Havertz doesn't score for them in the false 9, I don't know who scores goals. So for me, maybe Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko are brilliant signings, by the way, push Arsenal up to top 4. Now, the issue with Arsenal I have is in midfield. I don't think Arsenal midfield is great in terms of defensively, box to box. Offensively, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka out wide, etc., etc. Martinelli is a very good midfield. But defensively, in the middle, in that core of the midfield, they might struggle a bit this season, which is why I'm torn 4th and 5th. But you know what? Let's go Arsenal 4th and Chelsea 5th. Because I'm not quite sure how Chelsea are going to do this year. They're signing a lot of experienced players like Koulibaly. And I don't know, there's something about them that I just don't like, apart from them being Chelsea, of course. I just think Chelsea, let's say Chelsea 5th, Arsenal 4th. Now, 3rd for me, and I think there'll be quite a big gap between 4th and 3rd this year. I think Spurs have a brilliant season. I don't think they're good enough for the title, because I think City and Liverpool are so good. But Spurs have signed some very good players, and I just think they've already got Kane, Son, Romero, other good players existing in the lineup. I just think Conte's a brilliant manager. I actually think Spurs will come 3rd, and it won't be too far off 2nd. They'll be closer to 2nd than they will be 4th. That's what I think. I think Kane will have a brilliant season. I think the signings they'll have, Richarlison's good depth. If not, does he start? I don't know. Perisic, brilliant signing for them. Jez Spence, decent signing for them as well. There's just signed some good players. Longley at the back as well on loan from Barcelona. I just think they could have a really good season. And actually could be a sort of dark horse for a domestic cup this year, because Conte is just a winner. Conte is just fantastic. If Conte wasn't in charge, obviously there'd be reservations about it. But I think Spurs 3rd to me. I've seen a lot of people predict that as well. I think Spurs will be 3rd. Now, the final 2 places, we all know it's City and Liverpool. Everyone's predictions will be Man City and Liverpool. Now, who do I think is going to win the league? Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the league yourself. But I've gone Man City 1st. Liverpool 2nd. I think Erling Haaland will have a great season when he is not injured. I think he's quite injury prone. I think he'll get quite a few injuries, but with Pep Roulette, he might not play as many games. We don't know yet. But I think Haaland will get absolute feed of service. I think Nunez will do as well, but I think Haaland's just a better striker for me. Will they struggle without Mane, Liverpool? I think they will do. Will City struggle without Sterling? I also think they will do. I think Sterling is a massively underrated piece of Pep Guardiola's team that he has let go to a rival in Chelsea, which is why Chelsea are kind of swaying towards top 4, because Mount and Sterling could have a great season together. But I'm keeping Chelsea 5th. But I think City they have Pep. They have a brilliant team. Cancelo, Diaz, Ederson in goals, De Bruyne, so many players. Some are probably forgetting because they're so good. Rodri, of course, in midfield. I think Man City are the better team, personally. And that is my table. Now, moving on to, of course, the top scorers, the assisters, the one-to-watches, and the player of the year. My top goal scorer is, I said it earlier in the video, Harry Kane is my top scorer for the Premier League season, followed by Haaland if he stays fit, but I think Salah will be 2nd, Son 3rd, and maybe Haaland 4th in terms of top scorer. Top assister, I've gone for KDB. I think De Bruyne will have a brilliant season, and he'll also be our player of the year. just because Player of the Year tends to more than likely be players that win the title or become top scorer. If Salah's not top scorer and Liverpool don't win the title, I don't think Salah will get it. So I've gone for KDB as my Player of the Year and top assister as well. Now the final thing is the one to watch. Now I normally go for strikers. Ivan Toney was my one to watch last season, and I nailed it because he was brilliant in my eyes. My one to watch, being biased, is Scamacca. I think Scamacca could have a fantastic season for us. I think Moyes has wanted this player for a while, which means he hopefully fits our system. We've been lacking a striker for so many years. I hope we finally have the man up front that we need. So I've gone for Scamacca or Gabriel Jesus for Arsenal. I think he could be a match made in heaven or go horrifically wrong. I think it's going to be a match made in heaven. I think those two are the ones to watch in terms of strikers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Leave a like as well. And I'll catch you all later for hopefully some Premier League predictions coming weekly for the rest of the season. Enjoy, guys, and I'll see you all later.